Hi there, welcome to a new Gateway Flipped Classroom video. In Unit 5, you learnt a little about the history of money. Before banks existed, people had to keep their gold and silver with them. They realised that they needed to find a better system. When banks were invented, they became very popular because at last, people didn't have to take their silver and gold with them. They didn't need to do that because banks looked after their valuables. When people left gold in the bank gave them a paper note or receipt to say the gold was theirs. Other people weren't allowed to take the gold out of the bank, only the person with the receipt. You couldn't take anything out of the bank without a paper note. People realised that they needn't have carried their silver and gold for so many years. They should have started using banks much earlier. That was the start of the banking system we still use today. You probably noticed that all those sentences are in the past, and they all express some type of obligation, prohibition, or advice. Let's look more closely at each example. To talk about obligation and necessity in the past, we use had to or needed to. There are different ways to talk about things that were not obligatory or necessary in the past. We can use didn't need to, or we can use didn't have to. We can also use needn't have. There's a difference between needn't have and didn't need to. We use needn't have when something wasn't obligatory or necessary, but it happened. So if somebody says, "You needn't have bought me a present," it means that you bought the person a present even though it wasn't necessary. With didn't need to, maybe it happened or maybe it didn't. All we know is that it wasn't necessary. Now, to talk about something that was prohibited or not possible, we use wasn't or weren't allowed to, or couldn't. To say that something that happened in the past was a mistake, or to express a regret for something that didn't happen in the past, we use should have or shouldn't have, or we can also use ought to have. Notice the structure in those sentences. After the modal verb, we need have, and then the past participle of the main verb. Look at this photo. Did you know that on the Yap Islands in Micronesia, they once used enormous stone discs as money? Some of them were 4 meters in diameter. I hope they didn't have to carry them round when they went shopping. See you again soon.